Hello, this is our VBA-Excel project. The point of our project is to have somebody be able to calculate their caloric intake, their BMI, as well as their recommended daily caloric intake. We designed 3 separate forms. Each one does a different thing. The first part of our project we'll use as a form, and if you click this button here, a form will pop up. And somebody can enter their name, their height, and their weight. And they can also enter their activity level, inactive, somewhat, or very. This will affect how much calories they're allowed to intake according to their weight and height. And then you can also enter your approximate caloric intake, so 2,000, and pick a favorite activity that you like to do, say weightlifting. We have 3 buttons here. If you hit accept, a message box comes up. If you hit save, it outputs to the Excel worksheet. If you hit cancel, the form will disappear. So we hit accept. It says your name and then everything that pops up. We found this equation online that calculates your recommended daily caloric intake depending on your height and weight. And then it pops up how much you actually eat. And it says that you are consuming more than the recommended amount of calories, so perhaps you should try weightlifting more if you want to have a healthier lifestyle. You can hit save and the same thing will happen. It'll pop all that information out here. We have the program for that. This is the form we set up. We use labels and text boxes and combo boxes. And the code for that is here. This first command button 1, you'll either accept it, save it, or cancel it, and something different will happen. These are your activity levels that you can pick. And if you scroll down, these are your different exercises, if you like weightlifting or running or biking. And then this is the equation that we use that tells you what your recommended caloric intake is. If you're very active, it's 20. If you're somewhat active, it's 18. If you're inactive, it's 14. And then this is the responses that you will get depending on how much you work out and how much you eat. And everything will be put into the Excel sheet or into the message box, depending on which one you wish to use. Our next tab will calculate body mass index as well as a weight loss program. We have scroll bars here that go for your height, which is in inches, from 50 to 90, and you can change that accordingly. Weight in pounds, you can do the same thing, and also your goal weight. And we have a function here that will calculate your BMI. So if you say you're at 135 and you want to be at 110, you hit this button here and it calculates your current BMI. And you can also come over here and hit the weight loss, and it will tell you week by week, approximately losing 3 pounds a week, how long it will take you to get to your goal weight, plus or minus 1. And we can take a look at the formula for that. This is for calculating your weight loss plan. The values are your weight as well as your goal weight. And then this is a do loop that we use that you enter in. It will start with your current weight and end when your goal weight is found. And it's plus or minus 1 of what your goal weight is. And we also have a function to calculate your BMI, and the output is C, and we have the equation here. It's your weight times 703 divided by your height squared, and that outputs to the worksheet. Our final sheet is a graph that helps you kind of track a linear progression of weight compared to recommended caloric intake. You can change your activity level here, and we have a for next program written for this. So if you're somewhat active, you can hit that, and hit this button. It changes the value here as well as your caloric intake and outputs a graph. You can also hide the graph or show it. And we have the program for that here, and it's a for next subroutine, and depending on your activity level, and you can see a linear progression of caloric intake compared to weight, and also the show graph or hide graph function. And that is our project. Thanks for listening.